Hey everybody, Dave here. I hope you're having an awesome day. So, Christmas is right around the corner, and I don't know if you're familiar with the Christmas pickle tradition. Supposedly, the story is the first kid to find the pickle hidden on the Christmas tree gets an extra gift. Now, a buddy of mine was just telling me the other day, he said, actually, I think the gift is they get to clean up all the wrapping paper at the end of the day, but anyways. I have a Christmas tree upstairs and it's totally decorated. I got it ready to go, but I have another one downstairs and I'm waiting for my Christmas tree buddy, my daughter, when she gets home from college, to help me decorate another Christmas tree. So I thought, I need a pickle for my tree downstairs. I don't have one. So I got to sketching and I thought, what if I did something like this? Let me see if that'll zoom in there really quick. Yeah. So we'll do a little Christmas pickle kind of character. So come on, let's go make a pickle. All right, and so I'm not making burritos. This is actually just going to be an aluminum foil form. And I'm just kind of crunching it around. I'm going to make it like the shape of the pickle, giving it a little bit of arch, and that's going to work pretty nice as a base. Now, I did have a little bit of a crinkle in there in the middle, so I filled it in with a little bit more aluminum foil, and I'm going to just tape that on using some masking tape. And this is pretty nice. It actually will help smooth it out and just hold everything together. Once I put clay on there, no big deal. Now I have this really high-tech clay roller. They're hard to find, but then I'm just going to wrap the form here, and I don't have to worry about it being too pretty just yet. I'm just going to put it on there and blend it out. And it's a pickle, so if it has little lumps, that's not the end of the world. So that's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to just mark the eyes. I'm just using tools. I've got some sculpting tools, but I'm using the end of a paintbrush here. And I was originally thinking I'll do a little eye and a big eye, but I think I'm going to change that up a little bit. So now I'm just sketching on the mouth here. I want him to have a big old grin. It's Christmas time, so he's happy. And I was going to do just this as kind of a starting point, but I was like, oh, this is actually kind of working. So I kind of dug in there and I thought I'll clear out all this clay and then I'll sculpt a little tongue and put it in. But after I got that little clump out, I was like, wow, I actually have enough clay here still. And as I was kind of sculpting around, I don't know if it's just dumb luck, but I ended up having enough to make the tongue. So I'm going to kind of just form this leftover clay on the inside and make a tongue. I actually had a little bit of extra clay where I cut out for the teeth as well, so that's going to work pretty nice. Sculpting on a little lip here and just kind of blending that in, and I think that's going to work out pretty well. I'm going to do a little bit of an upper lip as well. I think I'll just roll out a little worm here, put that on. Yeah, it's kind of giving him some cool character. He's kind of doing more like the Fonz, like, hey, how you doing? So I like that. I think this is fun. All right, finish that up. And now I'm just using an end of a Sharpie. I wanted the eye sockets to be a little bit larger, so I think that's going to be a little bit more fun. Now for the pickle warts, I just rolled up some little balls of clay, and I'm just kind of popping them around. I did it on the front and the back, and I think that's going to be pretty fun. I'll show you here. I'm just taking the blending tool and kind of smashing it down a little bit, working those in. I did take a paintbrush and kind of smooth it out a little bit more, but this is kind of the gist of how I got all those little pickle warts laid down. And then there are some just little creases in the pickle, so I'm just using the edge of a paintbrush, and it's not going to give too harsh of a line, but it gives a nice soft little touch there. And then I'm just taking this little metal washer thing and just giving the eye sockets a little bit more character. When I put the eyeball in, I wanted to have a little bit of form around it, so that worked out pretty nice. And there we go, just roll up a little ball and kind of smash that on. I'm going to open up this eye socket just a little bit more. That's just the end of a paintbrush. Okay, there we go. Just give it a little tiny push, and that looks cool. All right, let's get the other eyeball in here. And man, this is really fun. Like, just by putting the eyeballs in, it's starting to come to life. This is really exciting. I'm going to take the end of the paintbrush and I'm going to just push it just a tiny bit, getting the pupils squared up, and that's going to be pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and just paint those black at the end. For the Santa hat, I just rolled a cone, pushed it over and I got those cool little creases, so I was just kind of highlighting those a little bit. And then I trimmed a little bit off the head, and we'll put that hat on there. That looks pretty great. And then the little white piece that's going to go around the Santa hat, just roll a little piece there, cut it, trim it, and then we'll be able to start working on it to make it look nice and fluffy. So my first attempt to get the white fluffiness on the hat was to roll up little balls and blend it in. Well, that didn't work. So I remember watching a tutorial, and I apologize, I can't remember the tutorial, who it was, but they just took a little pick and they swirled it around into the clay, and it gave a nice little texture. So that's pretty awesome. I apologize, I can't remember who that was, but thank you, whoever it was. I'm sure there's lots of different tutorials on it, but I'm going to do the same on this little puff ball at the end of the hat, and that looks really nice. So this is after baking it, and it's looking pretty cool. I think it's time to get some paint on this bad boy. All right, here's a green that I've had for quite a while, as you can tell. When this dried, it got a little bit darker, so this is kind of the first base coat. Then I got a little bit brighter green here, and I'm just quickly hitting it, brushing it on, and it's really bringing it to life. I'll do this a couple of times just to get that color nice and rich. Bust out some white, and we'll paint the bottom portion of the Christmas hat here. That's looking good. Paint the little puff ball at the end of his hat. I don't know what that thing's called. Puff ball? That works. And we'll paint the eyeballs white. Now the eyes, they did take a couple of coats, and I got a little bit of overpainting, but I just took some green and went back in and repainted it. So at the end, it looks pretty great. All right, we'll take some of this red. And again, I'm not using any fancy paints on this one, just some nice craft paints. You know, they're like 50 cents to $1.25, so no big deal. And this is really starting to pull this together as a fun Christmas vibe. I'm really loving it. I just took a little bit of white and some of the red that I had there already on my little palette and mixed up a pink, and we'll get some pink on the tongue there. All right, now to paint some of these little warts, I just took a little bit brighter green and some white, and I'm just doing almost like a quick little dry brush on all the little pickle warts, and that's looking pretty great. Time to fill in these pupils, and he's really starting to come to life here. I did a little bit of cleanup because I got a little messy, but that's no problem. Just a little quick touch up and good to go. All right, so I'm going to do a couple little final touch-ups here, and I think we are about to call this one a finished Christmas ornament. Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay, that was so much fun. Like, this is one that I just had a smile on my face the whole time I was making him, and it turned out really fun. I think I might actually put him on my tree upstairs because he's just great. So I'll do some turnaround shots of this, and hey, I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, and as always, it is a great day to be a toy nerd. Have a great one.